I work as an interior designer. I've worked as a designer for nearly 10 years now. I've lived in Hungary for 15 years. Most of my work is here in Hungary, but I also work in England, in Israel, in Finland, wherever work comes from. I mainly do private homes, apartments. I've started recently doing offices, and I've done 3 hotel interiors so far. I never do the same thing twice. Different people, different clients, different projects. Keeps life interesting, and you don't do the same thing every day, which I would last maybe 2 weeks if I had to do the same thing every day. It's not in my character to do the same thing. And I usually do a lot of background work, so I always look in very, very carefully to the character of the person, the hobbies of the person, what kind of use it will be. For instance, if they have a lot of books, if they have, for instance, if they have a lot of guests, how many children they have. So I do a lot of backup work, so I usually know them better than they know themselves by the time we start designing the actual home or office. By accident, I went to an exhibition in April, a furniture exhibition, and I wasn't looking for a program. I'd given up looking for a program. I'd used many so far in the last 10 years, and I never found one that suited my needs. They were either too architectural or too square, so I needed something that I could use and build my own furniture and use also something that was compatible with architectural programs. And totally by accident, you had a small demonstration going on, and I walked across with my husband, and the lady said, "Sit down and we'll give you a demonstration." I said, "I'm sorry, I have to leave, I'm late as usual." But I took a leaflet, and she asked me to fill out a form, which I did, which I'm very happy I did, because I lost the leaflet. And I got an email a couple of days later saying, as we promised, we'll send you some information. And I went with a friend of mine to see the demonstration and bought it instantly. The versatility of the program, the fact that it's compatible with architectural programs, and the fact that I can download material from the internet to use with it, the fact that it's in English is a very big plus for me, and the online help that comes with the product, which is great if you're learning and you always have problems that you don't understand and new questions. Well, the previous ones I used were either architectural programs, which were, I could only use maybe 10% of the program for what I needed, so that was a waste of time and a waste of money. And the other programs I had didn't have the backup and didn't have the material in it that I needed, and it took up so much time because you'd have to build things out of things that didn't even exist, and you could spend 4 hours building a sofa out of blocks, and it didn't work out. The versatility of the program, as I said before, the fact that I can download material from the warehouse on the internet makes it very easy to, for instance, demonstrate to a client a certain product that they want, for instance a sofa or a table from a certain company. The fact that if I'm working with other colleagues, for instance I'm working on a project now that there's 3 designers working, we can email each other our ideas, we can go into each other's ideas and make small changes and email it back to each other. So in other words, we save a lot of time without having to meet up and make appointments and things. So we can work, if I know they're up and working, I can email it to them at 2 o'clock in the morning, and within half an hour she's put her ideas to it and emailed me back. So that makes everything a lot easier and a lot faster. Yes, and I find that it's a lot easier for me to put my ideas forward to a client in a more professional way, because I can do a documentation that looks very professional. Very, very helpful. Very, very helpful, without having to sound like I've been told to say it. I wouldn't, unless it was true. I've not been able to phone without being given help straight away. Their help is not too good at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody in the office, but everybody has their mistakes. And my computer knowledge is I'm not the greatest person when it comes to computers, and I find the program is very practical, very usable, very logical, and if I do come up with a problem, they've always helped. And if the person who was teaching me is not in the office, then somebody else has always helped me. So absolutely 100% support. Probably the thing I'm most proud of in this line of work is the British Embassy here in Budapest. There was a tender for a big renovation and design project that I applied for. I didn't want to because I didn't feel my company was big enough or had enough experience to take on such a big project, and my husband bullied me into doing it, and he said, go for it, you've got nothing to lose. And I went to the meeting and I was told that there were 5 companies who had been invited to tender, and I thought, oh, I'll try, it's worth trying. And I won the tender, and it was actually my birthday that they sent me the email that I had won, and if I was still interested, would I like to come in to talk? And I was like, of course I'm interested. And when I went back in for the first meeting after I'd won the tender, I was told that there was, I think, 16 or 15 companies who'd applied, and I think 6 were English. And I was convinced that some very nice friends of mine said, the reason you won is because you're English, and that's the only reason. And I thought, oh, maybe. And I was told that there were other English companies also. And they didn't tell me because apparently I looked like I was about to faint, and the whole meeting I was sitting there white, stressed. So afterwards it felt really good to know that there were other companies from Britain also applying, and my designs won. So that is something I'm very proud of.